Hey, what's up, gang? Welcome to Puka Pockets, my new show. I'm your host, Fuzzy Jardine. If you're local, pay attention and watch this show because I'm going to bring it all up. What's up, gang? Today I'm super excited to announce this Puka Pockets podcast, brand new. I have my guest here that I've known for about a year and a half, going on to 2, and I met him through social media. This guest comes from Kaneohe, and he is a business person that owns a photography business that takes pictures and creates memories for families, which is, he does weddings. His name is Brandan Lee. Super excited to have you on the show, Brandan, and I appreciate you coming on. So,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
right on, man. I mean, yeah, tell me a little bit about, your, upbringing, and then we're gonna go into, your business and stuff like that. And really, this show is, talking about people that I know that I feel can share their experience and be an inspiration to others and show that, you can go from humble beginnings to becoming a successful businessman. So just kind of, say where you're from and who you are, and then, eventually what you do as far as business. and relax. It's like talk story, bro.
You want me to go like in the detail as far as like where I've lived and all that stuff, or just like the quick like?
Yeah, it's quick,
Just
quick
something
and
quick.
dirty, or put some juice on top. Yeah, it's like who you are,
Yeah,
what you do, and then eventually we'll go talk about how we
Okay.
met.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like you said, my name is Brandan Lee. Own a few businesses. For about 12 years now, I've been shooting media, photo, and video for weddings. Also developing houses, which I learned from you, the best.
The best, I don't know about that.
And then I was actually, my family's from Kaneohe, like both sides of the family. I was born in Sacramento. Moved back.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad was stationed for the Air National Guard there. Moved back about 6 months after I was born to Oahu, and then uh, from about second grade to seventh grade, I've lived all over Connecticut, Colorado, Arizona. Came back, been here ever since, and graduated from Castle High School, and then now I just working hard and running the businesses that I have. Yeah, and concentrating on the ground up construction.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was your passion like, growing up with, since I know that your dad's in the military, like did you guys move around a lot? Like,
Well, yeah, I lived with my mom when I was younger, so my dad was always here. The Air National Guard, so it's based in Hawaii.
okay.
And then my mom would always get raises in other states, so we would move from here to Connecticut.
Wow.
Stayed for like a year and a half. Went to Arizona, stayed for a year. Colorado for a year, and then back. And then they actually moved to Virginia. It's just they work for large companies, so they get raises, move to other states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, so did you go to different schools, or you just kind of went to public, private?
Yeah. So when I was here in Oahu until second grade, I went to St. Anne's in Kaneohe, and then but all over. I mean, I went to Windward Nazarene, St. Anne's, Ben Parker, all over. And then because we used to live by Ben Parker at one point. And then when I came back to Oahu, seventh grade, I went to Cathedral Elementary, which is closed down now. Went to St. Louis.
Wow.
Then,
You played football?
no. Yeah, and then went to Castle and graduated from there.
All right. So you remember Blossom Aviel, the security?
Yeah.
That's my grandma.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's your grandma.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
So the house I living in, I bought the house from
Oh, okay,
them.
okay.
So my dad's dad She married my dad's dad.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Wow.
never had children, so she's yeah, blossom. Crazy, right?
Yeah,
Small
yeah,
world
yeah,
how that happened. So,
yeah.
you know, when you graduated school, did you go to college or what happened after high school? Like, did you get into like surfing, partying, DJing?
Yeah, so in high school, I was always well, everything was the beach, back then. Heavily into like bodyboarding, going to Sandy's and Makapu and all that, North Shore. So that took a big part of my life.
Right.
Was always wanting to go to the beach every day. After I graduated, I went to a few community colleges, Honolulu HCC, and then went to Windward as well, and also went to KCC too.
Wow. So
And
you went to those schools for what?
Well, it changed. At first, I was just going for associates, and then I kind of wanted to get into radiology, and then from there, it was just like a turning point. My wife got pregnant, and then
Right.
I don't know what happened. Flipped a light switch, just flipped, and I was like, got to start a business or do something drastic. So she helped me come up with the idea, and we started the media company, and it kind of took off.
Yeah, I mean, so what's the company's name and how long you been in business?
Pure Media Hawaii, and then we've been in business for about 12 years.
Wow. So I
Yeah.
mean, how many families do you think you took pictures of?
Oh yeah, lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, prior to COVID, when it was like,
Yeah.
constantly busy, we were doing maybe 125, 130 weddings a year, which is pretty busy. So
So you say that like, photography and videography is, turned into your passion or, what made you, I know you said that, because your wife got pregnant and now you needed to figure out something, but what what an awesome business
yeah,
to
yeah.
have because you can, create memories for a lifetime, right? That moment when they say I do is is killers when you have, recordings of it or pictures.
Yeah. Well, I guess what started it was one of my coworkers at the time. I was always into photography. He had a jurs- sorry. He had a journalism background, and he was in the video. So we would always take photo and video of us surfing, at the
Right.
beach. So that's where it stemmed from.
Right,
And
right.
then it just went from there. My wife and I got married, and then I was like, bro, you got to see how much these guys are charging for to shoot weddings.
Right.
So she would always tell me, like, give me the idea and be like, you guys should do that. You guys already have, everything. You just got to learn that side. So what we did was we just got all our stuff. We went to like wedding expos. We saw what they're all charging, everybody's packages, and we just mirrored a package of our own, undercut everybody.
Right.
And back then, there wasn't anybody doing both photo and video. You'd have to go to like one vendor for photo, one for video. So we kind of like were one of the first ones to come together and provide photo and video for a wedding,
Yeah, so that's kind of cool that you figured out, okay, man, looked at the competition out there and made your own business and charged, probably fair price than what they were charging. And you had two things that you could help the customers
Yeah,
that
yeah.
wanted to, pay for your service, which is smart to me. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I still remember to this day, our first wedding, I had like a rinky dink like camera.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about what kind of cameras, because back then, how old you now? 50?
No.
No kidding. No, they used to have the roll up cameras.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I had
35.
like a Canon Rebel.
Okay. So digital already,
Yeah,
or is?
digital. Yeah.
Oh man, I guess I must be old. The cameras I had we had to
kind
put
of
the
roll up.
35
Yeah.
millimeter
Yeah,
thing in
yeah.
the camera and take pictures. That's how old I am, bro. And
Yeah,
then
no, it's digital.
never had phones when I was growing up, right?
Yeah, yeah. By the time I was shooting the weddings, had phones, but nothing like it is now.
Right.
Yeah. And I just remember like, bouncing around trying to get all different kind of angles. And like now I'm like, oh man, that was so
So
crazy.
tell us about, some of the challenges you had, because was that the only job that you had or thing that you were bringing in income?
So I was also working at a restaurant. Like I've
Okay.
been working at restaurants since I was that was my first job.
Oh, so you never
Yeah.
starved then.
Yeah, yeah.
You always eat. I used to work at a couple restaurants as well, so I know what it's like to do with customers, right? They're always right, and a lot of customers is, they want to come there to get free food, so they're going to
Yeah,
try and,
yeah.
I don't know, name some of those experiences. Like what restaurants that have you worked at?
Well, I worked all over. I mean, my first restaurant was in Kaneohe because at Haliva Joe's.
Oh
I
yeah,
worked at Morton's, a lot of
the
steakhouses.
prime rib over there at
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hollywood Joe's is insane.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, Morton's Steakhouse. I worked at where else did I work? I worked at Alan Wong's,
Wow.
King Street. Yeah, now and then the one that Wolfgang Steakhouse is the
Mhm.
last one that I've been working at for about 14 years now.
Wow. So you work as a manager or waiter
So I
or
started off as a waiter there, and then ended up being a co-general manager for about a year and a half to 2 years, and then went back to being a server once COVID died down, and I just go there 1 or 2 days a week.
wow.
Yeah, so I'm still there.
Waikiki life, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean you get to meet a lot of people from all over. What was the most memorable experience you had, I don't know, as a manager or a waiter, at Wolfgang? A
Hmm.
guest that came through that maybe was a famous guest or that you guys
You know
took care
what?
of.
There's so many that I can't even I can't even remember. Yeah. There's always like famous people coming through. Um
Yeah.
yeah, shoot. And
Oh,
then
good.
we even used to host the Pro Bowl there.
Oh,
So
wow.
they would bring the trophy. They would throw like a whole big like close down the restaurant. And then all the Pro Bowl party and everybody would be there.
Right.
They would even have the trophy there, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I came to the restaurant one time and you guys have like a wine cellar or that you can see from the restaurant when you're eating, but there's this huge, huge bottle. Like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
kind of bottle is that you guys have in that window?
They got like a 12-liter bottle, so it's like 12 bottles in one. But
Right.
there's all different ones. There's
And that's like a wine or like a
red like
champagne?
a red wine.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
how much is that bottle?
Well, that one's not that much. That one I think is like 12 or 13 grand, but there's like bottles that go
What?
way more.
12 or 13,000. Wow, that's
There's
crazy.
yeah, there's small bottles that go
Right.
for the same price.
Right. Well, the thing
Yeah.
must be good, get you drunk then,
Yeah,
huh?
it's to everybody's, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah, so well, that's interesting. So you've got your you started your were you working at the restaurants and doing the photography or
Yeah,
your
so I was
business
doing both.
at
I
the same
mean,
time?
at one point, it was like 7 days a week,
Wow.
like 4 days a week at the restaurant. And then I would have weddings on the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then back at the restaurant Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else that you do besides? I know you were saying earlier, um, besides just I know real estate is part of your where you make income, but besides the photography and the restaurant, is there any type of you trade with stocks or?
You know what? I don't anymore. I was for a while, but it was just too much ups and downs.
Mhm.
Um, Too much day-to-day stress. Like I was kind of into it for a little while, and then it's just too stressful, watching it day by
The day
day.
trading,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I know a bunch of people that do day trading, and you got to wake up early in the
yeah,
morning.
yeah. Not too much sleep. I mean, I would like wake up and be watching it and fall asleep and waking up. Oh shoot, I gotta sell.
Yeah, right. So where do you see the industry as far as wedding photography for yourself and your business? Is it still you gonna like expand, or where is it at right now?
Well, I do have team members, independent contractors that
Mm,
work for me. So they're not tied to just me. I don't have to pay a salary. So I'm
mhm.
able to keep my business running, being able to grow as with that as well, um, and not having to worry about costs.
Right.
So I just pay them as they shoot. I have editors that help me edit too. So I like doing it. It was a passion of mine. It kind of got so busy that I got burnt out a little, but now I'm back to the point where I don't mind doing it. I like being there. Like like so a lot of times for the weddings, people want like the same day edits where it's like you shoot the wedding video, edit
Mhm.
it that day, play it that night. And um like after you play the video, everybody's just so stoked and happy. You
You're
feel
like,
like a
woo.
you feel like a god. Like you're
Yeah.
like, oh wow, everybody's thanking you and that was so
Right.
awesome. You feel like so I just like the gratification I guess you get from it.
Right.
Yeah.
So sick. Yeah. I mean, me and my wife got married at the in Vegas. We was like, let's go get married in front of the judge. So really, the pictures we had was Vegas, photos.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
um, yeah, it's super interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna want to go into how we met. I mean, it's kind of classic. Social media has been a big part of my thing for the past couple of years, and I wasn't as active. I was a little bit hesitant because you think about when you post something, what people gonna say about you, the way you look, the way you talk, but I got intrigued by other locals that were doing social media, and I started social media by just posting a little bit of things that I've been doing because I'm doing real estate for like going on almost 11 years now. And I think the one post that I posted either on Facebook or maybe Instagram, I'm not sure exactly what, but it was a fake post that I put that wasn't mine. And usually, you don't want to do that, right? You want to be honest. And I just posted it. And in my mind, that's what I wanted to do for my wife. And I said, my wife is gonna trip out when she comes home. I think that's how
Yeah, yeah.
the post. So fill in the blank, right, on what happened after that. When I posted that little, I don't know if it was an
It was
ad or
no, it was like a wall that looked like this.
right,
Yeah.
what was the opposite way with a
Opposite
TV.
way.
And
Yeah,
mind you,
yeah.
I was at Surfco Toyota in Waipahu. And that's I think how we met, right? That's
Yeah,
just
yes. I mean, I was scrolling on
or you know what? We may have met at the
oh
trade
yeah,
show,
the
yeah?
trade show. Yeah, yeah. Cuz
First.
I was shooting video for my wife's uncle, which is Russ,
Okay.
and then he
Right, you
asked
know
me to
him.
shoot for that I forget what it was called,
Yeah, it
Ocean
was
Expo or something.
Ocean Expo, and then I had the bomber booth when I was, selling bomber eyewear. I was repping, the
Yeah,
glasses there,
yeah.
and then I think we met, but we never like really knew each other,
Yeah, yeah.
like how we know each other now. But the crazy thing is like social media kind of connected us, even though
Yeah.
it was a lie post.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember seeing you from the or that expo, and
Mhm.
then you had the post, and I was like, "Bruh, I just did the same thing," and that's what I messaged you.
Just never know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And from there, like, what happened after that? Like what happened? I think I was working on my Puka Pockets thing. I was trying to put together like a OC16 show to share my journey and help others that went down the path that I went. But I think we had a few meetings together with some of the producers, and it just never happened because COVID happened. But
yeah.
what was like? I think how did we like get involved with doing real estate together? Because I kind
Well,
of
we did.
blanked.
We went and met up. Remember Burger King, Kaneohe?
Oh, that's
We
right.
went and met up over there. You brought everything, what you do, and you were showing me all your plans and costs, and
Right, right.
giving me the whole rundown. And I was trying to get into real estate at the time.
Mm.
So originally I wanted to, everybody sees, oh, I want to flip houses, like it's all over
Yeah.
back then. Never had, yeah,
HGTV.
HGTV, all that stuff. So that's what I originally wanted to do, and then realized it's not as easy as it looks, just to get the deal, to
Yeah.
get it started. So I reached out to you. We looked over all that, and then we met up, and then I think after that I was like, I think I can do a flip.
Right.
So I ended up going doing a couple deals, doing some things on my own, and then I think by then it was COVID already, right? So
Yeah, I
COVID
think.
happened, and then it just got even crazier.
Yeah.
Interest rates were dropping. Everybody thought they could be a flipper,
Right. Well, the
So
market was good,
yeah,
like for a good stretch until, I mean, we thought, like to me, I thought COVID was gonna be the downturn. Everybody like, bro, the market gonna shut down. The market gonna shut down. Like,
yeah, yeah,
you just like, and it never happened. It went the opposite direction.
yeah,
And when we connected, I think you, if I'm not mistaken, like you seen what I was doing because I do branding builds on the Big Island, and what happened was I was always looking for partners who had funding, and I think that's where the the connection came, and we sat down, like you said, at Burger King, and then after that we never talked for a little while, and then we kind of reconnected. What was what happened? I think we you wanted to get involved with doing something like what I was doing, and I think I offered, to partner up with you and another partner of ours.
yeah, yeah.
And kind of explain, how that process went. Was it, you, I'm a local boy, right? I look like, like, wow, this guy gonna rip me off, right? Like I don't
Yeah,
look the
yeah,
part of like a
yeah,
businessman, straight
yeah.
up.
No, I mean, so basically, when I had another partner, right, and then we were doing a flip, um, and then I guess we kind of were trying to find putting in offers, doing all that stuff, and then I brought up the idea of, hey, let's do ground up builds with this guy that I know, and then I mean, he's a local guy too, so I think with our background, and you didn't come across as you would think,
Crookie,
yeah,
like
yeah,
a con.
you know but there was some thoughts,
Right, of
but
course.
you always have to be say, you always
Cautious.
have to be cautious with everybody, no matter who they are or what they look like. Um, but I was like, hey, let's go do this. We sat there, we ran the numbers, like how long it would take to do a ground up, how long for a flip, and what the profit, what the cost. We did everything, and we're like, right now the ground up makes the most sense.
Right, right. Yeah, so I mean, kind of lay out how like the process, because I think we were talking to a couple. Our first deal, we did it with Lima One. Was it with Lima
Yeah,
One?
yeah,
So Lima One actually, how did that happen? Because they had to pull like all our credit and stuff like that. You guys did have the cash, and I was the had the team and the know-how, and if we what happened was we came together and partnered up. But what happened was I think that's when I just started using Kiko Capital, which is a company that helps investors with hard money. But I think on the one we did together was on Lima One. How
yeah,
was that process? Because that was the first time you went through, and we all signed together, right? Was it First American Title?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, kind of explain that process, because for a lot of new people that don't know anything about real estate, um, hard money is exactly hard, right?
Yeah,
Unless you know what you're doing.
yeah, yeah. Well, and with hard money, there are you have to have the credibility,
Right.
So we didn't have that. We knew that that was the best way to go to be able to leverage your money.
Hmm.
And we had money, but we didn't want to put it all into the one project. So we figured, okay, let's try to use hard money. We talked to Kiko, we talked to Lima Ones, a few other guys as well. And at the time, it was a little harder to get the loan with Kiko because we had no experience.
Right.
So we decided to go with Lima One. And you know, I mean, I don't know what you were thinking because we were like, hey Fuzzy, you want to sign on with us or what? And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do
Well,
it.
I really, just I was just starting. I think at the same time, I was working with Kiko, and I was doing 6 projects, and then we know Todd, right? I don't know, a friend of ours. I was doing another 3 with him with Kiko, and just was the first time I ever got involved with doing, hard money, and then now I'm here with you guys to doing Lima One. So that experience was crazy and a little bit stressful, but in the end, like, to kind of run down numbers, like what we bought the lot for, what it cost to build, and then what kind of return we had. But not only that, like what we did for the single mom, like, was insane. Like how that whole scenario panned out for your first deal, or our first deal working together.
Um,
Do you remember?
yeah,
I
no, I just can't remember how much we bought the lot for. Was it
think it was
like
like 25,000.
25?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
think we bought the property for like 25,000, quarter acre, at the top of the subdivision. And yes, like, we did some shenanigans on that one. I mean, we was able to, like, there's some tricks in the trade where you can start building. It's definitely different than Oahu, but I think we paid for 25K, and then what else?
Um, so yeah, we bought the lot for 25,000. Um, as far as construction wise, it was the old code, so
Right,
it was
right,
cheaper to build.
right,
So we were all in like, just over two.
right, 200K.
Yeah, probably like 205 or something like
That's
205,
materials and
210
labor, or with the
materials and
land?
labor. Yeah, and then not including the land
Right. So it was like all in about 230, you think?
around there probably with the
36
land.
maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think our goal was to be at like 230 and we are about there.
Right.
Yeah. And then when it was getting close to being done, my wife's cousin, she was actually looking to move to the Big Island.
Hmm.
So we were already planning to look for a lot at that time and help her build one for herself. And then she just told me one day, "Hey, you got any other ones for sale like that's almost ready?" And I said, "Oh yeah, we got this one. It's like a couple weeks away." So she was like, "Oh, I got a friend. She's coming from Oahu, has to move there for work. Single mom, got kids. I guess the husband or boyfriend was had to go to jail.
Oh,
So she
yeah.
was moving over there by herself. She was making offers at the time, trying to, get in Ainaloa area. And that was during COVID. So she was getting beat out,
Right.
big time, like didn't even have a chance for a while and was kind of getting frustrated about to, give up, not knowing what to do. So I told her, yeah, just talk to her, find out what her budget is. We're
Hmm.
trying to sell this for this much, but just go ask her what her
Right.
budget is. So she ends up calling me right back, telling me, hey, her budget's 350.
Hmm.
And I think at the time we were planning to list for like 390
Something
because
like that,
yeah,
yeah. And I think it appraised at that.
390, three
So,
ninety five. It appraised that.
so yeah, we blessed her with a brand new house with about 25, 30K equity, which is, awesome, good feeling. And then, this that feeling of giving, back to our community, especially as a single mom, was just, we all kind of was like, happy to be part of that situation. And, not only that, we helped her, but we also started our journey, and that journey kind of like went crazy. And when was that? We started 2022.
Yeah, probably right before it, a couple months before
ending
it
of
was. Yeah, yeah.
2022, right?
Was
We
it?
started,
Yeah.
and we. So after the first project, what was you thinking like when you seen the paycheck and we had our celebration party at your house? Like, okay, when's the next one?
Yeah, yeah.
What happened after that? Like, where was your mindset? Like, oh my gosh, like if we can do this, you know, one more time, because that's what happens to most of the people that meet me and see, man, this what this guy got is pretty good. And not only that, giving back to our community. Like, I know you, man. Like, because we've got a few more projects that we're coming to an end in escrow. I mean, I think the total was about 17 projects after the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what? Like, and then, you know, what was that all about?
Well, we got the first paycheck and we were like blown away, we're like, wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So then from there we were just I mean, in my mind I was just like, we gotta like do more, and do as many
Scale.
as we can. And I think I talked to you too, and you're like, I was like, hey, how many you think we can do? And you're like, we do like 20, and I was like, oh, you serious? So I was like, okay, I gotta go try and raise money and talk to whoever I can about this and get as much people and try to grow it as much as I can. So it went from like one to maybe three,
Mhm.
then five, and then it just, jumped all the way to like,
Yeah.
17.
Man, it's so insane. I mean, my hat go off to you because I know you knew a little bit about real estate before you met me because you went and jumped in, and I think you were working with one of another flipper in Hawaii that we both know, and you know like to find someone kind of like me, my mindset was kind of insane because I call you my star student, even though we're friends, and you're unique because you surpassed your coach. Because right now, I mean, tell everybody like what. I mean, I don't not to boast or anything about yourself. I mean, what you're also doing is creating homes for families for our community at affordable prices. Um, so, you know, wow, we did like almost 20 projects together. What you doing now? Because I know you get some stuff under your sleeve, bro. I know you're doing some stuff. And for me, I like to teach people what I do, and then have you guys, spread your own wings and do your own thing. Then that's the plan. It makes me happy to know that you can create generational wealth for you and your family, and hopefully someday pass it on to someone. Pass that knowledge on. Where you at now, bro? You became a
Uh,
successful real estate developer, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to scale and
Yeah.
I got a good amount. What I kind of learned too was the whole process from you, from start to finish. Um, Numbers, everything as far as build time, how long it takes, what like the whole thing. You taught me everything from start to finish. And then I just took what I learned and I figured, okay, um, no sense have like one person build. I
Mm-hmm.
just was like, okay, if I want to scale, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta have multiple people help me with building, and then I just put a certain amount of people in charge of building just to be able to scale more.
Yeah, bro. Not skill, but you into the Eiffel Tower, bro. Yeah, I mean, this guy's super humble, and I mean, you're super humble. Appreciate you being humble. Like, what can you tell others that's wanting to get involved with real estate? With like brand new to it, like getting involved. Where can they start
um
in your mind? In your mind, at least.
well, I think I think anybody who's going to start in real estate, definitely they should. First, you got to know your numbers. That's
Right.
that's the most important thing. Know what it's going to cost, or whatever you're doing, flipping, brand new construction. For ground up, know your land costs, what it needs to be at, your build costs, what your ARV is. Don't choose for comps. Don't choose the highest comp. Never. I always choose the highest expenses and the lowest comp. Because you
Right.
don't want to get stuck in the situation where like I can build it for this price, I can sell for this price, and when it comes to sell it, it's stuck.
Right. Right.
Um, I would say that's the most important part. Another key factor which I used was get a coach or work with somebody who knows what they're doing. Like from you, I got to learn everything, all your mistakes in 11 years,
Right.
in 1 year.
Right.
The first time we built. So that's huge. And I talk to you all the time,
So
picking
you
your brain.
see you can't like within a year, like going from where you're at to now, like multimillionaire status already. No
No,
lie.
no, no.
But headed that way, right? Because the amount of projects that you have that's going on, I think you can reach that. But not only that, I think there's other things that you got going on also on Oahu. Like talk about the stuff that you're doing on Oahu. Like
Well,
I
I
think
have
you
a
got like a
handful of projects. The one that I like the most out of them all, because doing a lot of ground up, a flip. But the thing that I like the most one I'm excited about is the Bill 7
yeah,
project. So it's a small, like we just decided to go with a 9 unit affordable housing building.
right, right,
So it's with this, the mayor supporting it. There's lots of benefits towards it if you keep it.
right,
There's zero property tax for 10 years. You can build faster. You don't have to technically wait for the permit to finalize.
right.
Um,
And it's gonna
yeah,
create more housing for families that's in need.
yeah.
And
So you have to be at a median affordable rate as far as the rentals. So it'll help out.
right.
It'll help out 9 families. At first we were gonna thinking big, go like 27,
Mhm.
but it was just too much. So I'm just trying
Right.
to keep it small.
Oh, that's amazing. I know you came to me and talked to me about that, and I knew, of course, Fuzzy knows a lot of people, but I was able to, help guide you to put you in touch with, you know, um, the lady who knew a lot, knows a lot about it, and have been working on Bill Sevens for other people with her architect and stuff. So good on you, bro. I appreciate you doing stuff like that for our community. What's one thing you can share? What advice can you give? What advice can you give for our viewers that's looking to get involved with either photography, the restaurant business, and now like real estate?
I guess just, I mean, the main thing is everybody has their own different, their different style of things. Like for me, I like to just not pay attention to anybody else, just
Mhm.
like to stay in my zone. I don't go out there and, I mean, if I'm starting a new company, I'll see what other people are doing. But when I'm doing it, I don't really like to go off and see what all of my competitors are doing, because then it starts playing games with your head.
Right.
You're like, oh, these guys are doing this, I gotta do this, or I'm not doing this and they're doing
Oh,
that.
you call me all the time. What you
I
doing? What
see.
you
I
doing?
ask.
I'm
Yeah. Well,
just
for
kidding.
people I know,
Right, right,
But I feel like that's a good way to, um, you know, be able to do the most you can, is not worrying about what other people are doing. Just worry about like what
right.
you're doing.
Stay in your own
Yeah.
lane,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And like for anything too, it's always good to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing, to learn from. If you have to pay for, class for
Right,
coaching, or if you know somebody, that's always good way to go. Like for the media, I had my partner who was expert at video. He taught me everything. Like I didn't know how to shoot video, so I only knew how to take photos. And then while we were shooting weddings, he taught me everything about video. I started shooting, and now I shoot both. You
Right.
know.
So you learned off of a mentor who was a photographer and videographer to, learn the business. You didn't go to
Well,
school for it.
no, the business side, I just always kind of had that mentality. I just always needed to learn like whatever the trade was part of it.
Right. And then of course the restaurant. I mean, anybody can go to the restaurant, get hired, start the dishwasher. Like for me, that's what I did. There was a program in high school that I went from the back of the restaurant to the front, which was a great experience because my thing was, you know, the counselor said, "Hey, man, you like working at the restaurant?" I was like, "Oh yeah." "Oh, then you should go become a chef." Like, okay, I'll go become a chef. So that's kind of where my counselors kind of like, hey, this is the field you should go into. But little did they know I was rascal and selling illegal pharmaceuticals to make money. But that's another story. But it got me right here in this seat
Yeah.
and sharing my knowledge and my experiences to show that you can go from rock bottom and then come back and so what about like real estate, like why was it important for you to get a mentor, somebody that you could learn the business from?
Well, I guess mostly to learn, all the pros and cons,
Right.
um, and that helped me big time,
Hmm.
just to learn all the mistakes, what not to do, what to do. Um, there's major, I mean, especially with real estate, there's
Yeah.
big mistakes you can make, especially if you kind of let emotions get involved. Everybody wants this bright, shiny object, or they want to build something. The mentality is, oh, doing ground up, you're building these big, huge, nice mansions, and selling for this much. But we were geared towards, local families, helping them keep it affordable. So after a little while, you're like, oh, maybe I should do this to the house just to make
Right.
it nicer. And then I would come to you, hey, should we do this? Just stick,
Keep it
don't,
simple,
yeah, keep it
stupid.
simple. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Right.
So that helps out a lot.
Mhm. Killer. So, hey, like our audience, this is your audience too. I mean, like, I know you've got a bunch of projects that's coming up, and I want you to take advantage of this platform to share, how people can take advantage to make, single digit, double digit returns on their money and either partner or lend to your projects. I mean, take this time now. I mean, you can talk to our audience and tell them, hey, look, my name's Fuzzy Jardine. This is Brandan Lee, and we're real estate developers on the Big Island. We buy land from out of state owners and we build affordable houses for local families. So if you guys want to invest with Brandon and a bunch of his projects there on the Big Island or myself, like, yeah, reach out. How can people reach out to you? What platforms do you use and for your wedding photography and for your real estate business?
Yeah. So, I mean, with the real estate, I never really ventured into the social media. I kind of stayed quiet.
Mhm.
But I do use my Pure Media Hawaii as part of the real estate things. Like here and there, I'll post things or I do messages through there. So people can contact me through Pure Media Hawaii on Instagram, or it has all my contact there information too.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this was an awesome like podcast. Stoked to
Yeah.
have you
No,
on
thanks for
board.
having me
Yeah, I
on.
mean, I know you're super busy too, so taking the time out of your day to come and sit, talk story with me, really appreciate it. And I'm proud of you, bro. Like seriously proud of you because I seen where you came from and where you're at now today, and you're moving some mountains. So I mean, bro, keep crushing it and make sure you help other people too along the way. So one more thing, like we just want to share one liner on any type of advice or some one liner, like you know, don't walk across the road. Why? Or a joke. We're gonna go with a joke. Do you have a joke?
I don't know, a joke.
Why did the kitchen cross the road? Nah,
You got a
not
joke?
the kitchen, but the chicken. I don't have a joke, but I'll
Yeah, I
come
don't
up with
even
one.
know.
But one liner, just like the choices you make today will,
Mm,
turn into your outcome for tomorrow, something like that. For an example,
yeah.
or something that your dad or growing up, some type of experience that you can share that can kind of spark somebody's interest on this podcast.
Shoot. um,
Stuck.
stuck now. Um, I don't want to say something too cheesy. That's why either. So I don't know. I mean, I guess the way I always look at life is just I'm always thinking about the future, not
Mhm.
tomorrow. So um, the whole reason why I do, I still work at the restaurant. I still run the media company. I'm doing this is because I'm not thinking like, okay, I'll be good for next year or I'll be good in 5 years. Like I'm thinking, you know, 20, 30 years down the line. So, I mean, I guess that really helped me throughout life was just not really living day by day or even month by month. It was more just what's the focus for the long term
Mhm.
goal. Yeah.
Right on, man. Mahalo for coming on the show. And hey, if you like this show, mahalo for watching. And we'll have more guests coming on. Thank Brandan Lee for showing up from Pure Media Hawaii and smashing it in real estate. Please like and share, subscribe, click the red bell there so that you can get notified when our new shows come up. Aloha. Chew. I want to take this time to mahalo all of you, my local community, for watching Fuzzy Jardine and right now on my new Puka Pocket show. I appreciate all of you and just know that it's coming from my heart to you guys to share my journey and make sure that you guys know that you can do it too. Aloha.